everyone, it's Julie with Let's Get Strollin', and today we're strolling down the Pollyant Trail in Oxford, and we're going to be meeting with the manager, Pat. Hey Pat, how are you?
I'm very good, how are you?
I'm terrific. It's a gorgeous day, a wonderful day to go on the Pollyant Trail, right?
It is a wonderful day.
What better advertisement do we need than this?
No,
right?
Sunshine and a nice breeze.
I'm loving it. Well, hey, I'm thinking let's go down the trail and have a chat and go strolling, okay?
All right, it's the perfect day for it, So,
you know, I'm dying to know, Pat, first of all, everybody loves Pollyant Trail. I've been on it multiple times with my kids, my family, the community I'm sure is well aware of it. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. So tell me a little bit about what it takes to be manager of the Pollyant Trail. What do you do?
Well, a couple things that the goals that I have and the goals that the council has is to keep this 16.9 mile DNR trail safe and usable on a constant basis, and constantly make little improvements along the way for the users as well.
That's awesome. Well, I was going to say, it looks like it's very well kept, and I always wondered, you know, who takes care of that, you know, exactly. So now we know the man.
Yeah, well, I'm not just the only man. We the council hires somebody to mow a couple times a year. We have people who come out from Oakland County who need to do a little community service, helps us out. We have a group coming in this Saturday, usually 13 or 14 people come in and help. And then if we have an emergency where a couple trees fall, then there's some people I can call and count on to help keep it clear for the bikers, the horse people, as well as walkers and everything.
You just raised a good question. They do allow equestrians, horses on the trail. I forgot about that.
They do. There's a couple spots that we do not, but of the 16.9 miles of the trail, figure about 14 miles is accessible for those people who have horses.
Okay, very cool. So how do you get appointed to this position exactly?
Well, 2 years ago, somebody told me, hey, I should apply for this job. It was open, and so I went through an interview process just like every other job I've had since I was 10, I guess, and for some reason, with my background both in administration and schools and stuff like that, they felt that maybe I could do the job.
And you know, the batch of cookies you brought helped too, I'm sure.
Well, that's all part of it, but I didn't do that till after. That's
exactly.
right, after the fact.
No, you seem like you're a perfect fit for it with your education background and all that. You know, it's community oriented, community service oriented, and I think that's terrific. Yeah. So, you know, can you tell me a little bit about some of the upcoming things going on the trail?
Well, probably the most exciting thing that we have going into fall here is we're going to do the second annual Zombie Fun Run.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It is. Last year was our first year. It's a very unique 5K event. Take place October 24th. We do it at 6:12 p.m. and a lot of people question that, and they say 6:12 p.m. Well, that is officially when the sun sets, but it gives us about another 45 minutes of light. Okay. So we add that little scary element in there. We do run the event along the trail, primarily in Orion Township because of the parking areas and that type of thing.
Okay.
And the other thing that it's an interesting event in that we do have people that actually run the 5K. And they wear flags on the side, like the old football flags.
Okay.
And then the zombies who cannot run, they dress as zombies along the trail, and they try to remove the flags from the runners. So it's not necessarily just who's the fastest, but who can get through the 5K along the trail with at least one flag still being attached.
That is a really cool concept.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And is this the first time you guys have done this, or have you done this in the past?
We did it last year. We had 66 participants. We're shooting for 130 this year.
Oh,
and then the money that we're raising for that, it's not only getting people out on the trail and having a good time, because we do want that, but the money that we're generating from that, we're actually going to be adding 3 fix-it stations for bikers along the trail. Last year's money was we were able to purchase 1, and then this year we're hoping to raise enough money to put the second 2 in. The first one is in Orion Township. The second one will be here in the village of Oxford, and then the third and final one will go out in Leonard. So
the number one question I have is, what is a bike fix-it station? I mean, can I expect it to be manned? Like someone's going to actually pump my tire for me, or
No. It's a galvanized pipe, and it has 8 tools in it that a typical biker would need for some basic repairs. And then it also has an air pump attached to it. And so it's basic, it's simple. But it's there. You know, probably one of the things I noticed the most as I was first getting involved, you know, I used to use the trail a lot and never really asked a lot of questions myself. And then when I became the manager, I looked at it totally different. But a lot of times when I'm out on the trail, I'll see somebody that's walking their bike because it's a flat tire.
Oh.
So that was kind of the motivator behind that, is maybe we could do something along the way. There's not a lot of gas stations or
Sure.
places where you could pump your air. The bike shops are pretty far off the trail, so somebody who needs that immediate attention, about every 8 miles there will be one available to them.
I think it sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
How do you fix, though, when you get a blister on your heel when you're running? Maybe you could have a person fix it shop, where we can go in and get some Band-Aids.
That would be urgent care right down the street.
Well, luckily there's enough little pockets of, like, even right here where we are, there's the village right there, and you can kind of make little pit stops as you go along that rather lengthy trail, which you were saying, again, it's like
16.9 miles.
Okay. Got it flipped a little there, so 16. And what exactly, from what end to what end does it go to? Where does it start and stop?
It officially starts at Walden Road in Orion Township, and then comes into the village of Oxford, and then Oxford Township, and then heads out towards Leonard, and actually goes past Leonard until the Oakland Lapeer County borders meet on Boardman Road. And then that's where our responsibility, our council, their responsibility ends. There is another group called Friends of the Pollyant, because the Pollyant is actually named after the railroad that ran through here, which is a really cool dynamic with that. Runs actually all the way up into Caseville. And so there is a group that's trying to develop. They're farther behind than this segment of the trail, but they're trying to develop and make that more rideable and usable for all kinds of people. Another unique piece about the Pollyant, if people are into trails, the governor a couple years ago said, hey, I would really like to see a bike trail to go from Belle Isle to Ironwood. And they recently named it. It's called the Iron Bell Trail. It's 773 miles, of which 3.5 miles of this trail is part of that. And so you could actually one day, if you ever had the time, you could start at Belle Isle and then wander your way up through the lower peninsula up into the upper peninsula.
Wow.
And,
so the whole goal is to really connect communities as well, and to have this fantastic, but I know what you mean. It's a conglomeration of a lot of different communities that have to be involved.
Right.
So maybe your trail is looking pretty smart and you got all these great things, but then the community, maybe they're not up to speed and it's sort of connected. So you go from a nice trail to sort of something that's still in the works. Am I correct in that? The goal is to get it all continuous, so that you can go from one end to the other.
The two glitches that we're working with, about 70% of the trail is actually there in its existence, and all the way up. So you have about 30% where the DNR is greatly involved. It's their trail in a sense. They're trying to, how do we connect that together? Our southern connection actually would be with the Paint Creek Trail. So the Paint Creek Trail and the Pollyant and the communities involved are trying to create a connection between those two trails. And right now there's about 3 options that people are discussing, what is the safest, what about traffic, and all those things, trying to make that happen so it connects.
Well, that's good to hear. No one's building any, Great Wall of China or any
no
Berlin walls. Or
no tunnels.
You can't come in our trail. No, I love that everyone's working together, because really for people that are enthusiasts, hey, runners, bikers, whatever, they might have a little more energy than me.
No.
I keep thinking I'm going to do it, but I never quite do it. But this inspires me, and I know you had mentioned that you're a runner yourself, or a triathlete.
I'm a pretender when it comes to running. I love to ride my bike.
But you know what? There's a lot of pretenders turn into the real thing, so it's all good.
That's right.
Anyway, well, hey, I have to tell you, it was great meeting you. I think it's a fantastic effort that you're doing here, and actually it's a great trail, and like I said, doing good things. Keep up the good work.
I will. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right. Enjoy this weather. Have a good one.
Yes. All right.
everyone, it's Julie with Let's Get Strollin, and today we're meeting with the manager at the 5-1 Diner, Nicole. Hi Nicole, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
What a
too.
great place. The decor is gorgeous. Food smells great. Hey, you know, it's a little nippy out there. Do you want to give me a cup of coffee? Maybe we could chit chat a little bit. You can tell me about your place. That'd be great.
Let's go.
Let's go. So this is fabulous. Thank you. It's like such a brisk autumn day out there, and it's like, oh, it feels so good, and it smells really good. So
yeah, we do grind our own beans here, so it is some yummy coffee.
Well, there you go. That's super important. And I know you guys do breakfast, lunch, and dinner here, correct?
Yes, we do. The only day that we close early is Sundays. We close at 3 o'clock.
Oh,
but every
okay.
other day we're here till 9.
Well, most people are up and at 'em on Sundays for the most part, you know, by 3 o'clock. If you're not, well, sorry folks, you're out of luck, but you probably need to stay sleeping. You're probably a grizzly bear at that point that's hibernating. Well, here, cheers to you,
Cheers
to a
to you.
fabulous
Thank
place
you.
that you're running. It really has a nice feel to it. But I'd like to know a little bit about the name change. You know, we've been here before, and it's now 5-1 Diner. Where did you come up with that name?
Yeah, it's actually our address here. It's 51 South Washington Street, right across from the theater in downtown Oxford. So, you know, we've been asked so much lately, you know, what's this name change about? And so we have a couple different theories. You know, the owner here, he has 5 daughters and 1 son. So that's kind of become a running joke around here. And
it's also coincidental, right?
Yeah, it's actually just very simple. It's the address.
Alrighty, and again, so that all of our viewers know, you're right across the street from the theater, so it's kind of nice. Go have a movie, come over, have you know, lunch, dinner, whatever afterwards.
Yeah, and nice days like this, you know, you can bring your sweater and sit out on the patio. We do have outside seating on the patio as well.
That's awesome. Now, how late does your patio pretty much stay open as far as during the season?
If we're open, the patio's open, and then right when there's snow, the Department of Transportation makes us take it down. So we keep it open as long as we can.
Which could be next week. So, you know, the way we are in Michigan. So, no, please, let's not talk that way. But no, it's a really nice sized patio, and it looks like you can see quite a few people out there, so that's kind of nice too. I bet it's great. You know what I'm just thinking? During like the parades and stuff that they have.
Oh, absolutely.
Which, of course, Oxford is famous for, especially the Lone Ranger.
Yes, we had a great turnout for that. It was wonderful.
I was going to say, I bet that was great. I was going to ask you how that went. So tell me more about your any changes with the menu, changes with the staff, anything like that going on?
Pretty much the staff we've all stayed on. We have a couple things added to the menu. We do a vegetable quiche that's real good that people have, you know, really liked. We do an apple fritter French toast and a cinnamon roll French toast that Knapp's Bakery makes them bigger for us. The donuts, so they're the actual donuts. They're awesome.
Okay.
And then we, you know, we still use all the same ingredients, Dearborn ham products. All of our produce is every other day from Eastern Market. We have Cook's Dairy Farm ice cream, 12 flavors of that. We use their products as well.
That's right. I forgot about that. You guys have the hand-dipped ice cream, which is really, you know, you can't find that many places actually.
No, you really can't.
It's funny how when you're in search of that and you have a hankering for it, good luck. Well, everyone, it's here. They have it, Cook's, so that's great. Good to know. Now, as far as your, like I said, you do serve a full breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Is breakfast available all day? Is it only certain hours?
No, anything on the menu anytime here.
Oh, anything. Well, there you go. We should be set. So, is there any, you know, I don't know, any specials or anything you guys are running or anything?
Yeah, Monday through Friday we do egg specials in the morning. You get 2 eggs, meat, hash browns, toast for $4.95. So that's real good.
Wow, under $5 for breakfast is pretty fantastic. And by the way, the coffee is really, really great here. So, and Lord knows I could probably use about 5 more of those, you know, every morning to get me going. So it's all good.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as lunch and dinners, you know,
all kinds of stuff. Really good. We do a homemade Greek salad dressing that's very popular. Yeah, our Euro meat is very, very popular as well. People really love it. They carve it here. It's all fresh. We make our own actual turkey here. It's no processed lunch meat or anything. So you'll have a real turkey, real Dearborn ham. We cook the whole corned beef here, Wiggly's corned beef.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow,
all of our bread is homemade, comes from Detroit Metropolitan Baking Company. So if we can use local, we definitely do.
That's awesome. I I believe when you said the corned beef, I think your Reuben is one of my dad's favorites. So
Yes.
it's like absolutely drags them in here every time. So.
Yeah, and those are kind of large sandwiches. So we do offer like half sandwiches and soups as well. So it's good for lunch. You know, sometimes you don't feel like that whole sandwich at lunchtime. So we always have a half a sandwich and a bowl of soup combo during the day.
Do you guys do any kind of, do you ever cater or do parties, or do you have people that come and place large orders?
Yeah,
what
absolutely. We're actually doing for a church on the 24th, we're catering their guest speakers that they're having. So that's something new for us as the 5-1 Diner, but we were happy to do it.
Yeah, before you know it,
it might be busier than we think.
Exactly. Now, are you guys, as far as your staffing levels, are you guys hiring, or is there anything changes there that maybe our community should know about? Or
we're always open and accepting applications.
Okay, that's good to know if someone's interested. Seems like a great place. Your employees seem pretty happy.
Yeah, everyone that's been here has been here for a long time. So
that's terrific. I was going to say familiar faces. So
it is.
You know, I have a question. I noticed on some of your windows that you have some decals and paintings and stuff of the wildcat themes.
Yeah, we actually have a local artist that does that for us. He changes it up. Sometimes it kind of catches the eye being right here on 24. You know, some people drive by and don't really notice the sign. So we always try to do something different. And since it's homecoming this week, we have a wildcat logo put on the window and kind of poking fun at the dragons on the other end. You know,
but the dragons are welcome to come as well. You know, equal opportunity here. You know, kind of like the Michigan and the state and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know, with collegiate football and that going on too, I'm sure you guys get in.
Yeah, we do. It's funny. Normally on one TV we have the Michigan game, and on the other one it's Michigan State. I always kind of joke on the weekends that it's kind of our own great divide here.
Now wait a minute. You better be careful what you say here. We don't want anybody to know what your allegiance really is, because you want to draw them all in. So, I just noticed that you do have TVs in here. That's kind of nice. You can sit and have a sandwich and catch the game or whatever. It's, a nice little cozy spot. So
of course.
It's real good. Now, as far as you said that you were involved in the community or with the high schools and stuff, what have you done with that?
We sponsor a lot of things at the elementary school. We sponsor the football team, baseball team, the equestrian team at the high school.
Wow. Okay.
So it's been a lot of fun with the kids. And then we always offer 10% to all Wildcats, even the virtual academy, the students and their families, and when they come in. And then if you buy the card from the boosters that they have available, it's actually 15% off your total bill.
Oh, that's actually a huge benefit. Are there any other, do you guys ever run coupons, discounts, or anything that are
we do. We always have a senior discount. Our senior discount is daily. There's no time restriction on it, and that is 10% off the total bill.
That is awesome. I just got my AARP. I said, wait a minute, am I like, okay, I'll take it,
Right, every little bit counts.
But then I was a little like, well, wait a minute, how old is it? Apparently they're lowering their age a little bit, but hey, I'll take it,
That's right.
So, it's just kind of funny. Well, hey, it's a fantastic place. Your menu, and like I said, our viewers hopefully will get a peek at this, and viewers come on in and take a look yourself.
Yeah, we also have the menu online on our Facebook page, 5-1 Diner, so they can go ahead and log on there and
they
take a look at the menu.
All right, terrific. Well, as usual, it's nice to see you, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks.
Hi everyone, don't forget you can purchase DVDs of your favorite shows from OCTV, whether it's Minutes by Minute, Our Community Access, or Connie's Kitchen. Just call the station. Our number is 248-628-9658. And enjoy watching all of our shows on OCTV.
everyone, it's Julie again with Let's Get Strolling. Oh, I better close the door. We don't want any horses to get out. We're at Rattlewood Farms, and today I'm meeting with one of the trainers, Will. Hey, Will, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm terrific.
I'm all slimed up.
Very nice to see you. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful guy you got here. And I got extra special treats that someone hooked me up with to make sure we got a good relationship going here. Whoa! Look at me. I guess it's a good thing, right?
Hold it up flat.
All right. Well, as long as I keep the snacks coming, we're probably going to be in good standing here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I have to tell you, it is gorgeous out here.
Thank you.
I'm sure you recognize that, working here day in and day out. And so I'm just curious what you do here. Tell me a little bit about the farm and how it came to be.
Well, Rattlewood Farms is 240 acres of hills and woods and valleys and open field land. We run about 21 horses that live here on a full-time basis.
Okay.
Farm is owned by Gary and Lynn Wood out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. And their daughter had a love for horses and started riding down at BOH. And Lynn would like to have a horse, and Gary was always kind of in love with this area, and they'd come up for horse shows at Winnigan, and so he ended up purchasing this property about 5 years ago, and it's been a labor of love for the family.
Sure.
And then I met them shortly thereafter, and they brought me on board and said, well, we're not horse people, we need a little bit of direction. And so
okay.
I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the revitalization of the farm.
About how many years ago was that? Just give us kind of
about
a
4.5
reference.
years ago now.
Okay, so fairly recent in the scheme of things. So
the farm itself it's been a horse farm since the 1850s.
Okay.
On the census roll, it is listed as a horse property.
Okay.
Back in the 1950s, late 40s, early 50s, it was actually home for the U.S. eventing team.
Okay.
They trained two U.S. Olympic teams here. And then through the 60s up through the early 90s, Helga Duffy, who was the team vet for the eventing team, Truman Stop, raised thoroughbred racehorses here.
Okay.
That's kind of why I chose Truman here.
Yeah, he's beautiful. Really
He
pretty.
actually belongs to, he's a Michigan-bred thoroughbred. He lives right over on the west side of the state. Unfortunately, the racing industry's kind of waned in Michigan the last several years. And so his breeders went out of business. And I was able to get him as a 2-year-old, and we've used him for dressage and a little jumping over the years, and trail riding and whatnot. He now belongs to a gal over in Sterling Heights. But he actually has ties to the farm. His great-grandfather and great-great-grandfather both stood here as stallions.
Oh my gosh. So
Treasury, his real name is Treasury Renewal. So he goes back to the Treasury line and the Rattle Dancer and Northern Dancer. So he's got some history.
Okay. All right.
I always tease the Woods that out of all the horses that live here, this one, because he has a biological tie, let's say, to the land, he probably should have whatever he wants. But,
something tells me he's a little bit spoiled
he
at
is a
times
little
too.
spoiled.
So I was gonna say, seems like you guys have a pretty good relationship though. But he can push you around a bit. And what he's I don't know if he likes me or doesn't like me. I'm either gonna get licked to death or
he's begging.
It's kind of like a giant, when you have a giant, Labrador or something, and he's just going crazy.
The only problem is
a little bigger.
The only problem is a lot of people treat them like Labradors, and they're not. It's a 1,200-pound wild animal that's been domesticated.
Sure.
Whether you bred the mare and the stallion and raised the foal yourself, it still has a natural instinct for self-preservation.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter how many peppermints or cookies, carrots that you wave in front of it, trying to get him to get in the trailer or stand closer to a mounting block. His natural instincts are always going to be there. So, when you're to be a successful horseman or a horse person, you have to be able to create a bond or a relationship with the horses, so that they rely on your instincts and not their own.
Sure.
And
Well, you have to obviously have a very healthy respect for these creatures. I mean, they're beautiful and they're very intelligent, obviously. And like you said, they have a personality. They can bond with human beings. But you have to, you know, be aware of what you're dealing with here. I mean, I'm already intimidated. I'm only 5'2", but I'm like, this guy, I don't even want to know what he could probably push me around a bit. I'm sure, throw me around. So it's all good. So tell me a little bit about some of the training. If someone was interested in getting into some of the horses here.
I train primarily dressage myself. I do start horses for the hunter jumper clientele in the area. I don't show the hunters, but I do start horses for them. Most of our stuff, like I say, is dressage, pleasure riding.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, Will. Dressage. Tell us, what is that again?
Well, most people think of it as a style of riding. It's actually a training system where you're creating harmony between horse and rider, developing the horse's natural gaits. If you were to, the easiest way to explain it is, for those who don't know, if you've ever seen the white lippers on horses that travel around the country, or the Spanish riding school in Vienna, they ride dressage. And it's a century-old art, and it's just a way to bring out the horse's natural talent and ability and gaits and improve on those stuff. But all are welcome. We have a couple of gals that board with us that are just trail riders, and they're a lot of fun to have in the barn. They don't take things as serious as some of the others.
I can imagine. Yeah, there are. I know what you're saying with that. There's a little more structure to some of the riding versus others. So, I get it. So if someone, as far as the grounds and stuff here, who maintains all this? Who, you know?
Well,
it's an undertaking, I'm sure. Yeah.
We have Gary Wood, the owner, and myself, and Javier that works for me. We do a lot of the mowing and weed whacking around here. We have a gal that takes care of our flower beds and that kind of stuff. And then we have a gentleman that lives nearby, Gary Coach, who runs Whitetail Excavating. He does a lot of our major improvements and maintenance around here. So we try to keep it a hands-on type of facility rather than a commercial venture. But
well, it sounds like it's a lot of local people that are close, but you know, it's just it's a passion and love that they have, and I have to say, it's almost like it would be a privilege to work here, and it's really beautiful.
It really is.
And the animals are incredible, and I'm sure they feel that way. Everyone who's here, so.
Well, that's, you know, our goal is to try to keep the serenity of the farm and not lose that peace and tranquility. I mean, that's what you come to the farm to spend time with your horse and with nature, and a lot of facilities lose that. They become too commercialized with, you know, riding programs and trying to do too much.
No, I understand what you're saying. And actually what's great about this farm, it's actually not that far from the main town or whatever.
No,
so, you know, actually you're out, like you said, in tranquility, but little do you know, you could literally go right around the corner and you have all your needs that you have as far as, you know, in town. So it's fantastic. Well, I have to tell you, once again, it was nice to see you.
You too.
And I love what you do here. It's really fascinating. I wish I wasn't quite, so maybe I'll get a little more adventurous and do a little horseback ride. But these guys are, maybe you have a pony I could start out on?
Oh, you don't want a pony. Ponies are mean.
Oh, are they?
Vicious,
okay, I'll take your word for it. Well, nice to see you again, Will.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your time. Have a good one.
You too.
And everyone, thank you for joining us with Let's Get Strolling on this episode, and we'll see you again next time.
Hey Leonard, you're watching OCTV.